Now I face out, I hold out, I reach out to the truth. All my life seeking the seas on the whole moment till now. Break away, oh God, let me out.
Hello and welcome to my channel. So I originally filmed this all as one video, but it was super long, so I've decided to split it up per site. I didn't originally intend for it to basically be a UX review of the website and more so meant to talk about my most used options for official sources of Asian comics, but UX design is one of my passions, so it ended up being that way. The intro and outro for each video will be the same, and there will be timestamps below in the description so you can skip around if you'd like. Alright, let's get started. So today's video, we're going to be talking about what I've dubbed the big three of BL, which is Lezhin, Tapitoon, and Tapas. I'm aware that there's other sites, but I don't use them, so you're not going to hear about those in this video because I don't know anything about them. So the categories I'll be using to not rate, but just go over are pros and cons, obviously, the library, the sales, if there's a membership, and details on that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go over. So let's start off with Lezhin, which is my favorite of the three. And it's my favorite more so because it just has a lot to offer. I do like features of the others that I wish Lezhin would adopt, but we'll go over all of those in this video. So to start with the pros, so as you can see, this is Lezhin.com. They have lots of stuff, as you can see, and here's my library. And one of the top things that I find as a pro on Lezhin is that you can see the date each chapter was released. With Tapitoon, which we'll get into later, you can't see the individual dates, which is really annoying and kind of it's not a big deal, but like if you wanted to see if there were gaps in between in a story you started reading after it's done or after it's quite a few chapters in, and you can't really see that. You can't really see. There's pros to being able to see the date. I like seeing the date. I don't know, it's something that itches my brain, so I really like that it does include those. So that's one of the first pros of Lezhin. Another pro is that it has searchable hashtags, as you can see here. So this, if you can't see, is love, hate, omegaverse, tsundere, gangster, and crime. And you can click on these and it'll give you other stories that also have those tags. So that's really useful if you want to find other omegaverse, other gangster, whatever the hashtag is, obviously. And you can also search by artist. Here it has the creator, Yuja, and well, this is not a good example, so let's find another one. This story, How to Be the Chosen One, I know this artist has other stuff on the site. You can click on the artist name and it'll give you all their other works that's on the site. So that's really useful. It even gives you information about the title, so you don't just get like, I don't know, a name or whatever. You get a little blurb about them if you want to check them out. I think that's very useful because the other two sites, or at the very least Tapitoon, does not include that option. So that's really cool. You can search by artist. Another thing that I like about Lezhin is that it counts the number of titles in your library. The other sites don't do this, and if you are reading stuff on a weekly basis and you're paying for each chapter, you don't really know how much you're spending because you just refill your library, your wallet every time. You don't really notice how much you're spending until you see, oh, I have 175 stories in my weekly rotation. That's kind of crazy. Of course, this number is not the number in my rotation. Like some of these are done or I'm not reading, so the number that I'm actually actively reading is much smaller. But regardless, this is just showing the number of titles you have, so that's really nice. I really like having a number. So I'm not quantity blind. And I think the biggest pro of Lezhin is that it actually has uncensored stories. So if you're familiar with reading BL, the mature ones, they'll tend to have lightsabers, which is where they white out the male appendage, and they'll often add a glow to it for some reason. Like, they could just white it out. I don't know why they add effects to it, but that's why it's called lightsaber in the community. But it'll show like the whole scene. Like, nothing about the scene is censored, but the actual appendage is censored. And so I don't know, maybe some law passed where they didn't have to censor them anymore, but Lezhin upload a lot of uncensored stuff these days, which is great. It was jarring at first because I was incredibly used to the lightsabers, but once I got used to seeing everything in full glory, then seeing the new ones that would show up with lightsabers, I'd be like, ugh, this is so archaic. But yeah, those are all the pros about Lezhin. I think they're all pretty good pros. And let's go over the cons. There aren't a lot, but I'm going to complain about something, so I'll find something to complain about. I'll admit that they've made a lot of improvements over the years and fixed a lot of the things that I would have considered a con. And since I'm so used to the site now, I don't even really remember what a lot of those things were. But one of my main gripes with the library is that you can see this up indicator telling you that it is a new chapter. It is newly updated. However, it would be easier if you could sort your unread chapters completely separately from the rest of your library. Like we'll see later with Tapas, they have an entire tab dedicated to what's been updated. And I really wish Lezhin would have that as well, because if you're not reading every single new thing that updated that day, and you can sort it by updates, so like the ones that are updated are at the top, but as you can see, like these other ones are also here, and if you haven't read it that day, it doesn't mark it as still needing to be read. So basically I just want a tab that has what I haven't read yet, not what's been updated. And that's really my biggest gripe with Lezhin. I think that's their biggest flaw in their library system. Another con they have is when a story is going to be on a hiatus, I'm pretty sure the website owners know before the day of that it's going to be on hiatus. Like, I've watched enough anime and manga depicting how manga writers are. We know they miss their deadline sometimes. So like the site knows before the day of that it's not uploaded. I'm sure they need to be uploaded before the day it goes live. So it would be nice if there was some kind of indication before the time where you would expect the chapter to come out that the chapter is not going to be there. You find out the same time it would have been updated that there's no chapter. I wish they would just let you know as soon as they know. But I guess maybe the site just works on like a single time for uploading stuff, so maybe that's why. I don't know, it's just bad for the user, but I suppose it makes sense on their end. And we'll see with Tapitoon and Tapas, they typically show like 1 to 2 chapters ahead. I'm assuming maybe they require the author to upload multiple chapters in a row instead of just one at a time. So you will always know. Not always. There are actually some times where they don't upload the next chapter, but it is still on time. But you'll typically know if the next chapter is going to be on time. The next section we'll talk about is the library. And I will say that the library for Lezhin is huge. Out of the 3 sites, it's probably the best for BL. I think the majority of this site is BL. As opposed to the other sites, they're kind of more just generally Korean and with a few manga and Chinese manhwa sprinkled in. But these seem to be Korean-based sites, so the majority of them are Korean manhwa. But this site definitely has the most BL out of the 3. So you can read for days and you'll never run out of material. So that's really good for a BL enthusiast like myself. Next category to talk about is sales. Sales on Lezhin are fairly infrequent. They tend to match up with like holidays, just like furniture stores and other stores like that do. But when they do have sales and you're willing to drop some big bucks, they're very good value actually for your money. There was some sale like, I don't know, a couple months ago where it was, and this is going to sound insane, but it's a pretty good deal for someone who frequently uses the site and has a lot of things they read weekly or daily. There was a sale for for $100. It was like 16,000 coins, which is insane. And I bought it. And it's lasted me all this time. I've just been using the coins without any care in the world. I used to have to be a little more careful when buying new stuff, but now I don't care at all. Like, I have so many coins that I'll almost never run out of. But yeah, sales are pretty good. They're infrequent, but they're pretty good. You'll typically find them around like Halloween, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. Like, it's weird how they set up their sales to go along with typically American holidays, but I'm not complaining. At least I know they'll generally have a sale around that time. And the final category is memberships. Memberships the price tends to range for some reason. I don't know why they have like a fluctuating price for the memberships. Currently, I have the $11.99 a month plan, and with that, you get 1,200 bonus coins, which do have a time limit on them. But if you're reading frequently, you'll go through them fast. The time limit is not an issue. But yeah, you'll get 1,200 bonus coins, and then each month. And then you'll have access to discounted coin purchase options. So as you can see here, this is Jamie. I don't know who Jamie is, but Jamie's VIP Club monthly plan. And currently, it's like discounted for $9.99, would normally be $12.50, I guess. I don't know. I don't have this particular plan. The one I have is $11.99 that I got some time ago. And you get access to these sale prices for coins. Otherwise, you would have to do these. So it's a little more expensive for less coins, which is why it's an advantage to be a VIP. That's basically the draw to being a VIP. You get discounts on the bundles. And also, like, on occasion, you'll get bonus coins. They give out free coins and points. Points are basically stuff you can convert to coins. I don't know, the system's kind of stupid, so I don't really pay too much attention to points. I can't remember the last time I used points because I don't like they used to be more useful in the past, but not so much anymore. So I don't really pay attention to the points too much unless sometimes there will be a sale and you can buy points that can convert to coins, and it'll be like a really good conversion, and that's really the only time that coins are useful in any capacity. The final thing about Lezhin is the app. It has a regular, Google Store, Apple App Store app where you can read only the non-mature stuff, because I don't know, there's some rules about not having mature content on the App Store. I don't fucking know. But Android only has Lezhin Comics Plus, which means this version of the app, you can read the mature stuff. So this is an APK file that's only available for Android because Apple doesn't allow you to download programs not from the Apple Store. You can get the mature stuff on the app, which is really nice if you exclusively read your stuff on your phone. I tend to read most of my stuff on websites, but on occasion I do use my phone to read stuff while in bed and stuff. So yeah, that's my overall assessment of this website. Once again, the cons do not mean I hate the site. I criticize the things I love and wish for them to do better. I hope this video was helpful in some way and you are now armed with better knowledge on what options are out there for official Asian, mostly Korean, comics. Okay, thanks, bye!